Hey everyone, Rod Sahu here, realtor in Austin, Texas, back with another model home walkthrough. Today we're going through the Wichita plan with CoventryHomes. This plan is over 3,700 square feet when you do the media room upgrade, which we'll see later on in the video. It's a 5-bedroom, 4 full bathroom, 2-story plan that opens up really well. And just like usual, we're gonna go right out to the main living area. I will come back to these rooms like the study and the dining room, but first I want to show you what's fairly typical with Coventry on their 2-story plans, which is going to be a wide open kitchen, casual dining area in the back, and then this open to the 2nd story living room. Love some of the upgrades that they did in here. It starts with the sliding glass doors, but I really like those large size transom windows on top of that sliding glass door. Really opens up that space for the patio. And then we also open up to the 2nd story, of course, in the stairwell area. And I'm excited to show you that 2nd story. If you're somebody who needs 3 bedrooms upstairs and a game room and a media room or some options there, I think that this is a great floor plan. And then I don't even think we showed it when we first walked in. It's also open when you first walk in, which is perfect for a chandelier or something like that, although they don't really depict that here in the model home. Definitely something you could do either with the builder, or if it's not something that's offered, something you could easily do aftermarket as long as they have it blocked for hanging a chandelier. Coming back to the front of the home, I like this study, and you'll hear me say it a lot. I like what Coventry does with windows. The windows on the right side are going to be based on the elevation that you choose, which is the exterior aesthetic. But overall, this is why I cover Coventry so much on the channel. I like the amount of windows that they put into their homes, and I like how open their plans are. And you can kind of see that here in the study as I look at this fake laptop in front of me. You can imagine working from home here, the amount of natural light that's coming in. Of course, double doors outside of it to give you privacy. I think that this is a really well done study. When you walk out of it, open to the 2nd story, and then everything's very connected and close by. So this is why I like these plans. And keep in mind, when I mention double doors on the outside, usually on model homes, they just kind of keep these wide open because there's so much walk-through traffic. But sometimes for a study there, they would put double doors. Just depends on the community that you're buying this in. Sometimes it's an option, sometimes it's not. Over to the dining room, I like some of the design elements that they did here, where the color of the candle holder matches that same teal shiplap on the right side. I think that's teal, and I think that's pretty cool, where your eyes kind of go right to that table and then over to that shiplap wall, and then lots of natural light coming in from the windows again. And I think this is where people have to compromise with most floor plans, because there's only so much square footage you could fit on the 1st story with the lot sizes that are usually offered by builders. What's unique about this plan is currently in the base price of the home, they have it designed where there is a study, there is a dining room, there are 2 bedrooms down. So this is looking at the spare bedroom, and we'll see the owner's bedroom in a few minutes. And off of this, there's a full bathroom. And then usually they have this designed with a 3-car tandem garage. And that is very unique. In fact, if you look at most plans offered by many builders out there, you're never getting all 4. 2nd bedroom down, study, dining, 3-car tandem. You're usually mixing and matching, taking the 3-car tandem, turning it into a 2-car to get an extra bedroom down, or taking away the dining to upgrade it to a study. You're always mixing and matching and compromising somewhere if you value all those spaces. This is why I love this plan, because you don't have to compromise. It's something that's just currently included in the base price. I say that because sometimes they change these plans, so keep in mind you want to get an update from the builder, of course. But as it currently stands, this model home is really showing on the 1st story what's usually included in the base price. And then what's also very cool that they offer this is, if you're building from scratch, they currently have an option where this is the mud room. You can actually extend this out and make this into a workout room, where you could probably fit like a Peloton, maybe like a bench, some weights or something like that. Or you could do an enlarged utility room where this laundry is there. So it'd kind of bump out, it would take out that mud room, it would make this into one big space. So when you walk in from your garage, you're just in this huge utility room. So I think it really depends on what you value. Focusing on the workout room part, I love that they're currently offering this upgrade. And keep in mind, it depends on the community that you're building this in, so definitely double check that. But I like that option because if you're moving from out of state into Texas, keep in mind, we don't have basements, right? So a lot of people work out in their basements. They say they work out a lot, and they ask, well, what should they do if they're moving here? Without that workout room option, you either have the garage, which gets super hot in the summer, or you do it upstairs on one of these plans, maybe in like a media room, game room, or a spare bedroom. The tough part about that is every time you're jumping up and down, or you're slinging around weights, it can get pretty loud. So I really like that Coventry is currently offering that as an option in some of their communities. Over to the kitchen, I like this Butlers Pantry. Check out the window. Again, they squeeze in windows, I think, wherever they can. This is between the dining room and kitchen. And then I feel like this pantry is speaking to me with the elbow macaroni and the salt. It's pretty much the only food item I cook is pasta. It's so easy, right? Just put it in some boiling water. So that's pretty much my life of cooking. And anytime you're in a home with Coventry, they usually have like the structural upgrades, as you saw there, somewhere in their kitchen, where they'll kind of explain kind of what's going on in this kitchen, which I think is really great. If you're building with Coventry, sometimes it's nice to walk their model homes and see what each of the plans are offering. And then also you can kind of capture some of the design elements that they do here. And they have a lot of 2-story model homes that are very open. And I like that because there are other builders that they don't have any 2-story model homes. So you end up using a lot of your imagination, which I think is difficult to do when you can't actually see what you're buying. But I like Coventry, which is probably in, I don't know, my rough guess is like 15 to 20 communities around Austin. I find a lot of their floor plans that are popular are walkable somewhere as a model home. So you can get this open in the 2nd story and really grasp what's there. And then when you're building, you can also get, again, some of the design elements that they do in a lot of their model homes, which is great. Steal away, it really saves you when you don't have to maybe hire an interior designer. You can just walk model homes and pick off some of the ideas that you see here. And this is that dining area. Again, 5 windows wrapped around, not even including the patio door, which also has a window there. Really good space, especially if you're enjoying, breakfast in the morning. You need a lot of sunlight to come in when you first wake up. I find that's what a lot of people are looking for, along with a great patio space. And when I say a lot of people, I'm talking about people that are moving here from like the northeast part of the US, where they don't see the sun as much, a lot more storms, but it's also really the northwest part of the US. So I'm talking to people in Seattle, Portland constantly, and they just talk about, it's nothing against Seattle. I love Seattle. It's a beautiful city, but they just talk about how sometimes they don't see the sun for 2 weeks straight. And I tell them, you'll get no shortage of sun when you move here. And you get these great patio spaces that have these high ceilings, fans, really just incorporates that outdoor space in the indoor space where, when you hear square footage of 3,700 square feet, you're just not accounting for the sliding doors and how much time you're going to be spending in your patio, or how much time you're going to be spending in these outdoor areas. If you can imagine kind of like a pool here and having friends over, or just enjoying family time. I think that is extremely underrated when you can spend time here all year round. And yes, even this summer, it does get brutal. Like right now, we're in a current brutal summer. I mean, there's a heat wave everywhere. But a pool out there, it's a first world problem, right? You just hop in the pool and problem solved. If you don't want to put a pool in your backyard, a lot of these master plan communities have community pools where only people in the community can access it. So I just think it's great. It's very livable, and I love how this plan depicts it well in terms of what you can do here in Texas. Now, before we head to the 2nd story, I do want to cover the owner's bedroom and owner's suite here. Again, they fit the transom windows above the bed. If you want those more private, we have those same transom windows in our home. We had some film that we put in that we bought from Amazon. It was very cheap. Very easy to install. And I love that tray ceiling that they did there. I think extending that ceiling height is important. And then heading over to the owner's bathroom, they did quite a bit of a structural change here where it changes the owner's bathroom quite a bit. Usually it's a tub on one side with a vanity on either side of the tub. and then a walk-in shower opposite of that tub. Here, they did a super shower upgrade. It just extends the shower, takes out the tub. Usually they're doing this pitch ceiling, which I think is awesome in the owner's bathroom. It's a space that you're going to be using every day. And so I think, like I mentioned, for the owner's bedroom, that extended ceiling height, it really makes the space feel bigger. And I think that's a fantastic upgrade. And then if you're not a tub person, I like this upgrade of just doing the larger owner's shower. It ends up being so big, you don't even need to put a door here. And then I like the glass all the way around. So as I'm gonna demonstrate here, walking into the shower, it still feels very open. And then the cathedral style ceiling, or just a little bit more of a pitch ceiling. I wouldn't really call that cathedral style ceiling. That pitch ceiling, I think, works really well in this owner's bathroom. And while we're walking to the owner's closet to get a visual there, if you're ever wondering what the structural upgrades are for each of these plans, because I know I'm just kind of talking through it, on their website, they usually have an interactive floor plan. So when you click on that interactive floor plan, there's options on one side, and you can kind of see the various structural upgrades that are offered. And when I say currently offered or usually offered, I'm saying that just as a simple disclaimer that always double check that with the builder. They do vary some of these structural upgrades from time to time, and then they can even change from community to community. Now that door on the right side for the owner's closet, as we'll see here, is going to access the laundry room. I believe that is a structural upgrade that they have to put in. And then this is a large size closet. I like how it's kind of separated where, you know, if you have two people using this closet, that's usually the case. You know, somebody gets one side, the other person gets the other. I have no idea why they have a door in here. It looks like they put like the linen closet in the walk-in closet. I don't know if they're doing that just for like a model home, or I don't know, maybe it's just missing a linen closet and they threw it in here. So this is something I would definitely double check. I think it's unusual to put a closet in a closet. So maybe this was just something they did for the model home. I'm not sure. Definitely double check that. We're going to head over to the second story from here. And while we're doing that, I'll just cover, I like the amount of square footage that's on the first story. I think that's unique, like we talked about before. And then I keep showing the windows because they fit windows, it seems like, everywhere they can. But I like also the options that they offer on the second story. I find for a lot of people, they have to compromise somewhere where they have a bigger plan on the first story, but maybe just a game room and a bedroom upstairs. Or there's a ton of square footage on the second story, and on the first story, there's just not a whole lot. So I think that's something that people don't plan ahead. They think about, like, oh, if kids are going to be upstairs or if their parents are staying with them downstairs, well, how does that actually play out? Nobody really asked that question. And I think, you know, that's just one scenario. There are also a lot of scenarios of people without kids, or people with a lot of guests over, or having family over. It's something that I would definitely ask, like, how do you plan on living in this home, and who's going to be visiting frequently, and versus who's going to be living in the home. And so I think that's a question I would definitely ask, and then plan accordingly. And so if you're looking for a big game room, maybe you need a big play area, or you want to put a pool table up here, this is what I love. You would think that you would compromise on this space, but as you can tell, this is a massive game room. This is a large wraparound couch. I like what they did here. I don't think it's covering up a lot of the windows. You can kind of tuck it into the wall. You can put a much bigger TV, I think, on that side of the wall that swivels out. Or you can just take out the TV out of this game room, keep it as just kind of like a play area, and then use this media room upgrade as your TV area, which they just have sectioned off for 4 chairs. As you can tell, you can do whatever you want in this room. And then usually if you are building from scratch, you can pre-wire to put speakers in the ceiling or something like that, and make this into a true theater room. But a lot of different options here. I do think this media room is a good upgrade as long as the price is reasonable. It adds square footage to the plan. And I think when you're in these open concept homes, having a little bit of privacy for TV is a good idea. Like if you have somebody watching TV, somebody working downstairs, somebody cooking downstairs, it's nice to have this enclosed room, no windows, double doors on it that you can shut, so there's a little bit more privacy. Now currently they're also offering a study lounge instead of doing the media room upstairs. It pretty much looks similar to the media room, it's just that they add windows to it. And that's not something I've usually seen as a study upgrade for the second floor. So I think that's pretty unique. I think that there would be maybe a situation where somebody has two people working from home, or if you have somebody upstairs who needs to study, maybe a kid. I don't know if I'd do that off of the game room, assuming that's going to be a play area. So I think that that would be tough. But overall, it's an interesting upgrade. I think it would have to be like a unique scenario that somebody's in to get that study. Now we're heading over to one of the 3 bedrooms that's upstairs. This one does have a full bathroom that's accessible from the hallway, and then this bedroom faces out to the front of the home. This would be good for guests. The other 2 bedrooms that we'll see later on do have a Jack and Jill full bathroom, and so I think that this would usually be used for guests unless you really need to use all 3 bedrooms up here. Now, while we're heading over to those other 2 bedrooms that are split by that Jack and Jill full bathroom, I want to mention Coventry with the Wichita plan. They usually can build this on a 60-foot wide or a 70-foot wide lot. And what I like about Coventry in that lot size is they have a lot of different options that are available that open to the second story, and you can mix and match different things that you really like in different plans. Like if you want more of a grand entrance and like a spiral staircase, they have a plan for that. If you want something with a second floor balcony that's also open to the second story with a spiral staircase, I actually have somebody who just contracted on that has an amazing view out the backyard, and I'll probably detail that floor plan in a couple weeks. If you need 2 game rooms, 1 game room down, 1 game room up, there's another plan for that. So there's just so many different variations of floor plans within Coventry, but a lot of them fit that open concept where it's open to the second story when you first walk in, or in the living room, or both, and then have good amount of square footage on the first and second story. And that's why I think Coventry is popular, because you can usually, if that's your vibe that you're going for, you can usually find a floor plan that works for you and have very little compromise. And that's what we always say with new construction, is when you can build from scratch, especially, and pick a lot of your structural and design upgrades, there's going to be significantly less compromise. And that's why I spend a lot of time on new construction. I think if you're going to pay for something in this market, why not buy something where you have very little compromise and gets almost everything that you want? And then some of the small things that we don't think about, other than this sign, "Be your own kind of beautiful," which I think is a great statement, is going to be this plant shelf. So when you walk back to the front door, a lot of people say, well, how do you water that plant? You don't. You put a fake plant up there, you put a vase or something. And I think that that's great because it adds to the exterior elevation, meaning when you are just about to walk in your front door, it usually extends the height there. And then also when you're walking back to the front door, it really opens up that space, something that most people don't think about. Now, if you like this Coventry model home walkthrough and want to see another, click on the thumbnail that's appeared on your screen. And if you've watched the video so far, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I do walkthroughs like this on a weekly basis. And if you are looking at real estate in the Austin area, my information's in the description of this video. Feel free to reach out. And as always, hope this helps.